What's up, buddies? Hey, it's Concert Buddy. Making an off-cycle video, random. There's a really cool thread going around the vinyl community, sponsored by the Jazz Bums YouTube channel. A couple guys is talking about jazz. I thought it'd be fun to participate, so coming up after the break, I will show you the records required for this thread, contest, whatever it is. See you in a second. The Jazz Bums is I think it's a newer channel. It's, from my understanding, I just recently subscribed to it. I learned about it on the Rachel's Ghost live stream. Still, such great entertainment on that live stream. But my understanding is it's a channel. These guys just really enjoy jazz, talking about it. I'd highly encourage you to check out their channel. I'll put a link below. And I'll also say that they have a Instagram following. I think they may have, like, there's a Jazz Bums one, but I think each of them have their own name. So there's 3 dudes that I'm aware of. There's Chris and Mike and then Felipe. Not to be confused with Felipe Alou, the former manager of the former Montreal Expos. I guess this is a Felipe with an S. Felipe S. Don't want to give out his full government name. Anyway, these dudes really like jazz, talk about it on their channel. Far, far, far superior subject matter experts than I could ever be. So if you come to this channel looking for jazz history and specifics, sorry, go to the Jazz Bums. They will be your source of truth. All that said, I thought this was a really fun idea. They're calling it the hashtag Jazz Label Challenge, and they threw down the gauntlet of showing a record from, I think it was 4 specific labels. I think it was Blue Note, Prestige, Impulse, and Riverside, in that order, something like that, and then a bonus. So, piece of cake. I've got something from all those. Riverside was a little harder because I don't have a lot of that stuff, but let's get into it.
We will be honored if you will play jazz flute.
For my Blue Note representative, you're like, holy shit, what happened to this record? If you watch my channel, you know I'm a Lee Morgan guy. Lee Morgan's my favorite trumpet player. This is obviously, I would say, probably his most famous recording, or most famous solo or titled recording. This is the Sidewinder, dummy. This copy, I have several copies, but this copy I picked up in Austin, Texas last year when I went to the Austin Record Convention, and I was shopping at Antone's Records, and this actually used to be the house copy for the University of Texas's radio station. So it is beat to crap, shit, whatever you want to say, but it's the first pressing, the Rudy Van Gelder, but just from like the story, and this used to belong to a college radio station, UT, right? I just thought it was really fascinating. It was really inexpensive. It wasn't, I think, 20 bucks or something, but just thought it'd be fun to add this to the collection. I've got several other Blue Notes, but Lee's my guy. I gotta rep Lee in this one. So anyway, here is this for the Blue Note label. All right, so for this is the Prestige label entry for this thread. This is Miles Davis and the Modern Jazz Giants. So an interesting recording. I think this is probably a reissue that doesn't look like the traditional Prestige label. It's probably a 70s reissue if I'm guessing. Anyway, you got some pretty strong contributors here. You got Mr. John Coltrane, Paul Chambers, Red Garland. You got old Monk here. So a lot of interesting cats participated on this entry. I don't have a lot of Prestige. This is the only one that I could readily find in my collection. And again, not that I have a big jazz collection or anything like that, but wasn't as available. I've got so many other Blue Notes and Impulses and whatnot. But anyway, here's the Prestige entry to this thread. All right, so when it comes to the Impulse contribution to this thread, I had to pull this reissue. They did such a wonderful job on this Mingus recording. Amazing jacket. Like, look at that. You want to talk about quality? This is some nice stuff. Obviously a reissue. This is not an original pressing. I wouldn't even know what an original pressing like this would go for, but again, as I've been dipping my toes into jazz the last couple of years, I've really found who to listen to in terms of good recommendations. And, you know, like actually my boss at work is a big jazz head. So this is something, he's a big Charles Mingus fan. So this is something that came highly recommended. And I have played this, it sounds really good. I mean, just a nice job on a reissue. This is what you're hoping for. As record prices keep going up and up and up, to me, expectations should follow suit. And this one hits on all marks. So here's my impulse contribution to this list.
That's baby making music, that's what that is.
This one was a little bit more challenging. I didn't really have any real Riverside outside of, I had some of these Chet Baker reissues. This one was just called Chet. I guess it's self-titled. Tell me in the comments below, it was just considered just self-titled. Kraft has been doing really nice work on the reissues, particularly like the Chet Baker stuff. They had that the Miles Davis, the black box stuff they've been doing. So Kraft has been doing nice work when it comes to reissues for some time now. Again, similar to the Mingus reissue, a nice stiff jacket. This one's got a lot of heavy hitters on it. You've got Bill Evans on piano, Kenny Burrell. Like, I really enjoyed that, side note, really enjoyed that Tone Poet introducing Kenny Burrell. It's one of my favorite Tone Poet releases. Paul Chambers, again, shocker. Pepper Adams, who I haven't mentioned yet. And then, what a wonderful name, Philly Joe Jones. Philly Joe Jones, what a great name. I wish I had a name like that, like Concert Buddy Jones. I don't know, it's so much fun. But anyway, Chet Baker, not really my normal cup of tea, but again, great recommendation for some folks who are like, hey, it sounds great, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think it's like an under $30 per reissue campaign. There's a couple of these that came out. Super cool. Anyway, this is my Riverside contribution to this. All right, now, the bonus record. You ready for this? Let's go. All right, so I was a little surprised that of the 4 labels that were required for this thread video, that Verve wasn't one of the ones. Let me just check my notes. I'm pretty sure. Boom, boom, boom. Notes say no. Number 5 should be a U picker, so I'm picking. And this is obviously Gets Gilberto. Tremendous. I think this is a really good recording. I think I maybe have this in backwards. Oh, look at me. I'm a big dummy. It'll look more familiar. I had the back in there. What a dope.
Well, I pity the fool that makes that mistake.
I have listened to this. That's why it's kind of out of sorts. Oh, it looks like it's got some pimples on the cover there. Anyway, I picked this up from one of my locals. This is a really great recording on the Verve label. I don't know, you know, it's hard for me to say like it's a jazz classic. Like Kind of Blue, jazz classic. Sidewinder from before, jazz classic. There are a lot of other ones that are, I guess you would deem jazz classics. Does this fall into the same ilk as a jazz classic? Tell me in the comments below. I think it does, just because it's, you know, great recording, and when you hear it, you know you've heard it somewhere. That's usually a telltale sign, especially a jabroni like me who's not a super jazz head, that if I've heard it somewhere before, could be at a cafe, it could be in the elevator, it could be in the waiting room of, I don't know, Gap or something. Who knows, right? But if you've heard it somewhere in passing, that's got to be an indication that it has significant historical value. Anyway, end of that. So, Jazz Bums, I enjoy your channel. Like I said, I'm a recent sub. Chris, Mike, Felipe, keep up the good work. Keep teaching the masses like Concert Buddy and others. Really enjoy your channel to learn. Really enjoy your Instagram to see some of the stuff. I know you guys have been flexing some of those Prestige reissues coming from Acoustic Sounds. I've got them too. Again, what a great job they've done on that reissue campaign. So, folks, thank you for watching this off-cycle video. I just wanted to throw this out there for, again, the hashtag Jazz Label Challenge. Next time you get a chance to spin jazz records like this, or first pressing of Sidewinder. I had to show I do have a first pressing of that instead of that roached out copy. If you get the chance, just spin it. See you next time.
Well. How the turntables
Well, we out of time.